What is up, guys? Thanks again for stopping by at the channel. If this is your first time stopping in, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Now today we're going to talk about that infamous ticking noise that you guys are hearing from your Duramax. If you're watching this video right now, you're probably wondering where that's coming from. So I'm going to explain to you guys some of the causes, where they come from, sort of how to diagnose them, sort of nab exactly what it could be. As a matter of fact, my truck is actually making that ticking noise, and I've gotten a lot of questions from you from Instagram. If you guys have not followed me, make sure you guys do that. It's going to be at truck_master07. I've had people actually message me on Instagram. What I'll be using to diagnose this particular problem would be my scan tool. And this is a great scan tool. It's going to be good for some of you low-end techs, or even some of you straight-up technicians or mechanics to have in your toolbox. So make sure you check that out. Actually, I'll leave the link in the description where you can pick one of these things up. But what we'll be using this for is to check the injector balance rates. This particular scanner is a CRP429C right here. So we're going to use that. This is actually pretty cool because in the kit, this will actually come with a tire pressure sensor reset, which is really neat. If you guys have anything from an 07.5 or above, really the way this works right here is you hold the unlock and lock button while the key's in the ignition, with it being in the front position, and then you got to hear two beeps, and once you hear the two beeps, you're going to go to every single tire, and you're going to go from the front left and work your way all the way back around. Hit that button right on the valve stem, and then you'll hear a beep, 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 and then once you're done on the fourth tire, you'll hear a beep, beep. So that's how you reset them. Just a cool little fun fact. But yeah, this is going to reset your DPF. It's going to do your ABS bleeding control. There's a whole lot of things you can do. Check field trim, check timing. It's just an immense amount of things, but we're gonna just narrow it down to one thing. And I've done this in the past for you guys, injector balance rate. So we're gonna jump right into that. That injector ticking noise could be a sticky injector itself, fuel not properly getting into the injector, sort of like a fuel starving situation to where it makes a loud tick, 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 or a knock noise coming from that specific spot or that specific cylinder. A lot of people actually hear that from their Duramax, coming from the inner part of their inner fenders right here, underneath their wheel wells. You can also get it underneath the truck, and you could probably hear that as well. I'll go ahead and duplicate that here in a minute, but we're gonna jump right into injector balance rates. It's very important for you Duramax owners to understand this. Anything within the spectrum of negative or +4 on your injector balance rates, if you were to go outside of that parameter, so if it's a +5 or a +7 or a -7, anything outside of that spectrum, that normally means that it's typically a dirty or bad injector. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Ideal is you want to be at that 0. Now if you're a 1, 2, or 3, you're okay. This particular truck is a 2007 LBZ Duramax, so it's going to be your 06 to 07s is where I'm getting at, or an 05. But it's an 06, 07 is this application, but this is going to correlate for pretty much every single Duramax. Not 100% sure on the L5Ps, but this will correlate very, very well for it. Plug it into your OBD2 port. Now that we're here, just gonna check for my VIN number. You can hear that injector ticking noise right there. It sounds like it's coming from cylinder 8. Got one on this side too. Okay, so here's my injector balance rates. It's looking like they're pretty good, like I was explaining. You got 1 through 8. I don't see anything higher than a 4, negative or plus in that spectrum. So for video purposing right here, I'll just go ahead and explain it to you so the truck's not running. While it's running, what you want to do is disconnect the injector harness, and there is 8 of them, of course. Now I'm on the passenger side. Particular injector harness that I'll be pulling will be injector number 5. Okay, so as you guys can see, passenger side is 1, 3, 5, and 7. Other side is 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's how you'd unplug it, like that. Little push tab, push down, pull out. Once I've pulled that, I just shut off that injector from actually working, so that cylinder wouldn't be working at that point. But we're gonna go ahead and do every single injector and see if that ticking noise will go away if I was to pull that injector, because that's gonna be the problem right there if you guys suspected it may be an injector. And that's not the problem. We'll go ahead and plug that one back in. that I've pulled every single injector harness from the injectors, now individually, guys, don't pull them all. Don't do that. It's pointless. Pull one, listen. If the tick doesn't go away, or if it does, whatever, plug it back in. That's all you got to do. But I did every single one, and then it threw an engine light naturally. We're gonna go ahead and clear that code right now. Turn the engine light off, so no more engine light on the dash. Now that we've ruled out that it's not a injector, injectors are fine, there's no issues. What I would do, guys, realistically, is if I saw that one of my injectors were bad, I'd go right to that cylinder, pull that injector harness, and if that goes away, your problem's gonna be your injector. It could be pretty dirty. One thing that I would suggest before you guys spend tons of money on new injectors is consider something like this. Shot Secrets, it's something that I'm gonna be trying out here, and I'm gonna give you guys a review on this and let you know how I feel about the product itself, but I've heard a lot of really good reviews, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a trial with Hot Shots, see how I like it. I'll let you guys know. It's gonna be probably a few months from now, but next time I do an oil change, I'm gonna be using some of their products as well in my engine oil, and we're gonna see if it cleans things up, so on and so forth. Well, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and just clean those injectors up using some additive, is where I'm getting at. You guys can also do, there's all kinds of YouTube videos on how to, you know, run like the AC Delco injector, fuel injector cleaner stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that you guys can do, run products like that. But anyways, that's a thought, but indicating that it's an injector tick is very prominent to your LB7 Duramaxes, your older, your first generations. Preventive maintenance tips: go ahead and invest into a nice lift pump. That's gonna really be helpful for your diesel. It's gonna separate that water from the fuel. It's gonna separate that dirt, that air. It's gonna keep your CP3 or CP4 very happy. It's gonna take less pressure off that CP3 while it's working, and it's gonna get delivered pure diesel fuel to your engine. Let's move into our very next topic, which would be an exhaust leak. You guys hearing that ticking noise right there could indicate that it could be a small pinhole in your up pipes, where the bellows meet, or even a cracked up pipe. It could be a problem. Also, another thing to look for is your manifolds on both sides of the engine. Make sure that those manifold bolts are tight. They may work their way loose and cause a exhaust leak, making that tick 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 noise that you're gonna hear. This is your downpipe right here. Your downpipe's mated to your actual exhaust, routing itself all the way back to the outside of the truck. So downpipe going to the back end of your turbo, and then this is going to the lower end of your turbo pedestal. Now I talked to you guys about these bellows right here. Those right there may crack. The easiest way to identify your exhaust system in itself, your manifolds, is to look for any sort of black soot or any sort of black buildup that you may find on there. That's a good indication that it could be an exhaust leak. So you want to look on the other side as well, and in my case, I've already looked at that and I do not have an exhaust leak. You also want to route those up pipes all the way up to the turbo itself. There's going to be 3 bolts attached to each up pipe itself to the turbo. Just make sure they're tight. Now, if you're watching this and you hear a hissing noise from your engine, it very well could be that you have a boost leak. That's a whole new topic. We'll talk about that in another video. But if you're watching this and you hear a tick, it could be an exhaust leak itself from the engine there, manifold up pipes, something like that. It could be an injector tick or an injector noise. It could have something to do with your valves as well. Now, I want to finish this out with a final thought, and this is my problem that I'm having, and this is what most of your problems are having. It's a very common issue. You hearing that sort of ticking or clacking noise could be a very common issue, okay? And believe it or not, there's really nothing you can do about it. Engine oil. My truck started making that ticking noise after I did my last oil change. What I use is your standard Dexos 15W40 synthetic. From the dealership, actually, is where I got my engine oil changed. And it started making that ticking noise. Before, I was using the Rotella 15W40, and it wasn't making that noise, and I was using synthetic. And a lot of guys actually use conventional oil, which is non-synthetic. That could be also, you could get a ticking noise from that. My suggestion for you guys is use synthetic oil. Although I use synthetic on mine, that's what started it. It's just annoying. That's really all it does. It doesn't hinder performance, power, anything like that. The next engine oil change that I'll be doing, I'll be using this stuff right here. It's going to be 15W40 AMSOIL synthetic. I'm going to try this stuff out. I'm going to see if it gets rid of my ticking noise. I'm not going to do that in this video. We'll do it in a later video, guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned. What I will explain to you guys, and I actually have a service bulletin on this one, I want to explain to you why it ticks like that with engine oil, or just in general why your Duramax sounds like that in a normal sort of setting. I'm going to read a service bulletin from GM. This bulletin right here is a 2-06-01-022, whatever, section 6. Engine propulsion system, okay, and this was posted in 2006, and it says, in short, the noise is caused by the relationship of the engine cylinder block, crankshaft journals, bearings, inserts, and oil film. The relationship may allow a vibration that resonates through the cylinder block and is heard as a metallic ticking noise. The noise could be described as an irregular ticking or clacking sound, like random typing, which you guys have heard of the typewriter ticking noise. I'm sure you guys have heard of something like that, typewriter sort of analogy. It also says all Duramax diesel engines have this condition. However, some are more audible than others. Testing and engine teardowns with this condition reveal no condition that will affect reliability, durability of this engine. It also says dealers should not attempt to compare any customer's vehicles exhibiting this noise with other similar ones. Their fix for this one is just don't do anything about it, okay? It's annoying, we're gonna have to deal with it. Duramax owners, if your truck is ticking or making that typewriting noise, or it's clacking or whatever, you've done a full diagnosis, can't figure it out, get a louder exhaust so you can't hear the ticking noise. I don't know what to say, guys. This is just the inevitable. This is what happens, okay? My truck wasn't doing this until I got that oil change. I'm hoping it'll go away when I use the new oil. I'm gonna use some of that stiction eliminator from the Hot Shot Secrets when I do my next oil change as well. We're gonna see if that gets rid of it. Make sure you guys continue to follow the channel. I know I keep saying that, but this is an ongoing thing for the truck. Okay, so hopefully we learned something. If there's something that I missed, okay, for some of you guys that are experts or you guys just know more about this stuff, make sure you leave it in the comments below. It's gonna help somebody else out. That's what this channel is designed to do, is to reach out to this diesel market right here, this diesel community, and help each other. That's why I designed and developed this channel. Other than that, guys, I got some big plans, future events, truck shows. It's gonna be an amazing year. I want you guys to watch the next 2 videos that I post after this one. I'm probably gonna post a video every single day until Monday. I got some pretty exciting news to share with you guys. Also, I got a little bit of a twist that I'm gonna do. I know I've been talking about fuel modifications, CP3, and then injectors. I wanna upgrade that so I can eventually get this truck to about 700 horsepower. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the brakes right now. I got some other thoughts and I wanna share them with you. So other than that, guys, thanks for your time. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.